Hi everyone, my name is Carmen and I am back today with another review video. Today I will be reviewing the Bourjois Always Fabulous Foundation. I actually picked this up when it was like the Priceline half price off makeup sale, and I've always had a really good impression of Bourjois foundations and Bourjois product in general. They're made from the same labs as Chanel, so I thought I'd give it a go when it was on sale, and I am here to give you my thoughts. So if you're curious about how this foundation performs on combo oily skin, just keep on watching. So as you can see, I've already applied all of my skincare, which is why I am so shiny. I will be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer as base, and then I will be applying one side with a sponge and then one side with a makeup brush just to see how it performs. And then I will be doing a wear test for you today. So I'm going to be heading out after I film this video, kind of do some check-ins here and there to see how it performs when I'm out and about, and then I will come back for a final check-in. All right, let's get this started. I am going to clip back my bangs. Also, I got curtain bangs and I'm still trying to learn how to style it, but I got curtain bangs, and I also got my hair colored for the first time in like 2 years. So I was very excited about that. I'm gonna clip back my hair so it's out of the way. So I'm gonna start off with primer. I'm gonna prime both sides of my face. I'm going to pump one pump of this onto my little tray thing. So that's one pump, and I am going to pop this on this side, and this will be the brush side. I guess I'll go through the product info while I blend this out on my face. So the Bourjois Always Fabulous Foundation claims to be up to 24-hour wear, and it is life proof. It has a semi-matte finish, which I definitely agree. It's not 100% matte. As you can see, it's still kind of glowy, which I actually really like because it looks quite natural. It is a full coverage foundation. It is oil-free, dermatologically tested. It has an SPF of 20 and is a hydrating foundation. So this is one half of my face with one layer of this foundation on. I don't know if you can see the difference, but actually 100% you can see the difference. So this side is a lot more smooth. It's evened out my complexion, but it still looks really, really natural. I still have a nice glow, and I really like this shade for my skin tone. Here is just, you know, ta-da, natural textures. You can still see some scarring just there, so I'll pop a little bit more on. This foundation also has a little bit of a scent to it. I would say it's a very light refreshing scent. It kind of reminds me of like cucumber scented products. Okay, now onto the other side, which I will be using a sponge for. So for half my face with a brush, I did have to use the full pump. So we'll see if I will use more or less product with a sponge. I'm assuming a little bit more, just because a sponge generally kind of absorbs a bit more product. So I'm gonna do one pump, just spreading this on my cheek. Here where I need the most coverage. Oh, I got some on my hair. So the shade that I got in this foundation is 110 Light Vanilla, and it is one of their lighter shades. This foundation, I believe, comes in about 9 shades, and with drugstore foundations, they don't generally have a very extensive shade range, and this is no different. Medium to dark skin tones don't really go that dark or not nearly dark enough in my opinion. This shade is the lightest that they have in the yellow based foundations, which I think in this case matches my skin really well. And I just really love the finish of this. I love that it is semi-matte and is hydrating, because even though I do have oily skin, my skin is quite dehydrated. So if I chuck like a really matte foundation on, it'll only just work in reverse and make my skin produce more oil because it is so mattified, if that makes sense. So the fact that this is hydrating means that it is also really comfortable to wear. So this is one layer applied with the sponge. I definitely feel like, I don't think there is much of a difference on camera. In person, the sponge definitely gives less coverage. I can still see some of my freckles and definitely the scarring that's peeking through here. So I'll definitely have to go in with a second layer. I still have a bit more from the first pump anyway, so I will just apply this in the areas where I need it. I feel like this foundation actually looks really nice on camera. I've worn this foundation to the office a couple of times, so this won't be first impressions, but the times that I've worn it to the office, I happen to have like events to go to afterwards. So I feel like that actually worked in my favor, because that means I can give you like a office 9 to 5 review plus how it would last if you were to go out afterwards, which is great. So here's my face done with this side with a brush and this side with a sponge. Personally, I definitely think the sponge looks a bit nicer, looks a bit more natural. For this foundation, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like 100% full coverage. Nothing like Estee Lauder Double Wear or anything like that, where as soon as you put it on, it's like everything is gone. It's a buildable foundation. I definitely think you can build it up to full coverage, but I wouldn't expect it to be full coverage right away. I actually think it did a pretty good job of covering my under eye circles as well. Like, at least on camera, it doesn't look like I need much concealer after this. In person, I would say about the same. In person, I feel like the under eye circles are like a tiny bit more prominent, but I think it covered it pretty well. So I am going to do the rest of my face and I will come back and let you know how it wears under the rest of my makeup. Okay, so I've taken my clips out and my makeup is all done. Let's see how the makeup held up under the rest of my makeup. I still think the sponge side looks a bit more natural, though really in person there isn't much of a difference unless you're, right up in my face and you're like, ooh, I really doubt you'd be able to tell the difference. If you want more coverage, I definitely go with the brush. For sponge, it's just a little bit more on the natural side. I am going to be heading out right now. I'm going to go for a little bit of shopping and lunch with my family. So I will report back at the end of the day to see how it wears. Today's weather is really bright and sunny. I think it's about like 25 degrees Celsius outside, but it's quite hot. So we will definitely see if this is going to be life proof. I will check back with you at the end of the day. Hi everyone, I'm back from my day out. It is currently 3 o'clock. It's been about 3 hours since I've gone out. I would have stayed out a little bit longer, but I just wasn't feeling too well, so I came back home early. But I was like trying on clothes the whole time. I was walking the whole time. I'm a little bit shiny and sweaty, as you can see, because it was warm out. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts after wearing it for today and a couple of days before as well. Looking at my skin now after wearing it for about 3 hours in super warm Australian weather, where I definitely sweated through the makeup, it's lasted quite well. As you can see, it does get shiny, so if you are on the oily side, make sure to bring a powder with you so you can pat the shine away. I don't necessarily mind the shine so much. I actually feel like I've come to embrace the shine because it's just gonna come out anyway, and it's fine for now. I don't really mind it. If I were to go to an event afterwards, I would definitely try and bring a powder with me, just so I won't look so shiny. I have worn this before for about, I would say, 13 hours. I was at work from 9 o'clock, and then I went to watch a movie as well after work, and I was watching a 4D movie, and I had to wear my normal glasses and the 3D glasses on top, and the 3D glasses did rest on my nose here, and I had noticed that by the time the movie ended and I looked in the mirror, that all the makeup around here where the glasses sat had all come off. So I would definitely not say that it is life proof. Like, it's not going to be replacing your Estee Lauder Double Wear or any of those like KVD Lock-It foundation, nothing like that. But I think it is a really beautiful daily foundation that looks still really natural while giving you full coverage. Is it transfer proof? Let's have a test. All right, here's a tissue. Let's see if it's transfer proof. Yep. For now, it's pretty transfer proof. But I would say that as the day goes on, if you have oily skin like me, it will have the tendency to start breaking up, especially around the chin area and the nose area where there's a lot of movement throughout the day, definitely. So does it match up to the claims? Is it life proof? Depends. If you're a glasses wearer, definitely not. If you have to wear masks still, definitely not. But if you don't have any of the above, then yeah, I'd say it stays on pretty well. Semi-matte, yes, definitely. It's not 100% full matte, which I actually appreciate now coming into winter for Australia. I think I will be wearing this foundation on the daily just because I feel like it's quite comfortable to wear. Full coverage, not immediately. I would say buildable. I would say medium to full coverage. Oil-free, I mean, that's I guess. Hydration, 100%. Whenever I wear this foundation, I don't feel like a traditional matte foundation where my face would immediately feel a bit dry, and it would take, I would say, like an hour or two for my natural oils to kick in for it to look a bit more natural. This just goes on natural, and I don't feel that drying feeling, which I really appreciate. Up to 24 hours. Look, I'm not gonna wear this foundation for anywhere near 24 hours. I've worn it for 12, 13 max, and I feel like that was enough. Did I feel like my foundation was slipping off my face at that point? I actually think it felt fine, even though on a different day I went to Korean barbecue after work. My face still felt pretty good. Like, my foundation didn't feel like it was about to slip off or anything like that. Of course, it was shiny. I didn't touch up the entire day. I don't generally touch up, but I still think it looked really nice when I came home. And I asked my sister as well. I was like, did you like my foundation today? How do you think it looked? And she said, yeah, it looked nice. So, and is this a nice shade for myself? I'm usually in Maybelline Fit Me. I'm usually 118. I think it's a light beige. This, I think, is actually a really nice match for me at the drugstore, which is very, very rare. It's very rare for me to find a good drugstore foundation with a nice shade match, believe it or not. And I actually think this one is probably one of the best I've had so far. So props to Bourjois for giving me a really nice shade. Could they do with shade extensions? Absolutely. I think they only have a handful, so they can definitely improve on that. Did it oxidize? It didn't oxidize. I haven't found it to oxidize at all. One of the other foundations definitely does. I think it's called like the 123 anti-pollution foundation thing, which I will put a picture up here. That one definitely oxidized, like a whole shade darker. So if you were to get that, I would get a lighter shade, but this one has stayed the same throughout the whole day. And yeah, so all in all, I actually really enjoy this foundation. It surprised me because Bourjois is one of those brands that I don't really hear about anywhere anymore. I remember back in the day when, gosh, I sound old. I remember back in OG beauty YouTube when Bourjois like chocolate bronzer was like all the craze, and the healthy mix foundation was super popular. Nowadays they've kind of just dropped off, which is disappointing because I feel like they actually do really nice products. All in all, I really enjoy this foundation. I think this will be my new daily foundation to work in the winter, in the coming months. I've been really enjoying it. The scent, just quickly on the scent as well, the scent does linger on the skin a little bit. I would say it lingers for about the first maybe hour or so, and then it'll go away. But yes, it does linger a little bit on your skin, but it doesn't stay long, and I don't think it's to the point where it's like annoying. I actually quite like the scent. It's like a subtle fresh scent, so that doesn't bother me. Although if it does bother you, then maybe try and get a sample of it somewhere. But yeah, I really enjoyed this foundation. And that's it for my video today. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please don't forget to like and subscribe and click that bell notification button so you don't miss a single upload, which is super important for small YouTubers like myself. And until next time, bye!